Ever thought about this? What if your entire life, I mean, all of it, your wins, your relationships, your biggest choices, could be boiled down to just 10 pieces of paper? It sounds kind of wild, right? Well, today we're going to dig into the surprisingly deep story that's hiding in plain sight, right in our official documents. Yeah, I know what you're probably thinking. It sounds a little cold, right? Reducing a whole lifetime to a stack of paper. But what if that paper trail is more than just bureaucracy? What if it's actually a map of your journey, charting all the big moments? Let's dive in and see. 10. That's the magic number for today. We've zeroed in on 10 key documents that, when you put them all together, create this incredibly complete picture of a life. A journey that literally takes us from our very first breath to our final official record. So, let's be clear, this isn't going to be some boring explainer about filing cabinets and red tape. No, it's all about how these seemingly ordinary pieces of paper are actually tied to the biggest, most human parts of our lives. Think of each one as a chapter in a really personal story. And every good story needs a beginning and an end, right? Well, in the story of our documented life, these two are the ultimate bookends. They mark our grand entrance and our final exit. And everything in between, well, that's where the story of who we become gets written. Okay, so let's crack open the book to page 1. This is the very first document that basically shouts to the world, "Hey, I'm here." The birth certificate. This is it, document number 1. And it is so much more than just a piece of paper. Honestly, it's like your official ticket to the game of life. It gives you a name, a citizenship, a place on the map. Without this single document, the rest of your story, it just can't get started. But life isn't just about being born, is it? It's about becoming someone. So once you're on the map, that's when the real journey of growth kicks off. And you guessed it, that means a whole new set of papers to track our progress. This next batch of documents is all about our journey out into the world. You've got your educational stuff, diplomas, degrees that tell a story about what you've learned and what you're aiming for. Then you have things like background checks, which basically vouch for you, They let you build a career, become part of a community. These are the papers that say, hey, I'm here to contribute. But our stories aren't just about us as individuals, are they? I mean, some of the most important, most meaningful chapters are about the people we connect with, the commitments we make to each other. And yep, even those deeply personal bonds get recorded in official ink. And this is where the paper trail gets really personal. A marriage certificate? That's not just paper, it's the legal version of a promise. Adoption papers? Wow, they create a family, legally, where one didn't exist before. And even something like a divorce decree, while it's often painful, it's also a major plot twist in the story, marking a huge change in a person's life. And that's really the core of it, isn't it? Think about it. A choice we make from the heart gets formalized on paper, and suddenly it's recognized by the world. That's the exact moment our most private, personal decisions become part of our public story. Kind of powerful. So, as our story moves along, our perspective starts to change. We begin looking to the future, thinking about how we can protect the people we love and the things we've built. And this brings us to a whole new category, the documents of planning ahead. I like to call these the just-in-case documents. A power of attorney, for instance. That's a huge act of trust. You're giving someone the power to make decisions for you if you can't. Notarized agreements? They're all about making a promise official, turning a handshake into something solid. And then there are our medical records, which tell the story of our bodies over time, a story that's absolutely crucial for our future health. And so that brings us to the end of the road, the final document in our story, the one that, well, closes the book for good. The death certificate. There it is. The other bookend we talked about at the very beginning. It's the last official word. And, while it marks an end, it's really a document for the living. It gives families and loved ones the official proof they need to handle all the legal and financial loose ends, to find a sense of closure. So there you have it, the paper trail of a lifetime, all laid out. It kicks off with a single page for our birth. It builds up with chapters on our growth and our commitments. It matures with all that forward-thinking planning. And finally, it reaches its conclusion. 10 types of documents that, when you line them all up, tell the story of a human life. So when you really think about it, these are so much more than just boring administrative papers, right? They're the chapter markers of your one unique life. And here's a thought I want to leave you with. Your paper trail is writing your story right now as we speak. So, what will yours say?